Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? All right, so I'm on here for a few minutes for the tip of the week. And, well, I do a couple tips of the week, right? I'm in my room because my house is being kind of remodeled with new flooring and all that fun stuff. So, literally, I got you guys propped up on a pillow because my house is torn upside down because we're getting new flooring and all that fun stuff. All right, so for those of you who haven't caught me live, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. I've been going live more and more over on my group and less here on the page. So if you haven't joined the group, you've got to join the group. It's a lot of fun. That's where a lot of dialogue happens, questions happen, people feel more comfortable. So just post in the search area, Autism Mama Rocks IEP group, and join the group, okay? And click notifications above so you know when I go live. And post a 1 below if you are new. 1 below if you're new. All right. Share this, share this, share this. This is good information. I think it's always good information. But you know what? Anything with the IEP is good information. Okay. So with that said, post a 2 below. Sorry about that. It's my phone. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Make sure you guys welcome all the newbies out there. And again, if you're new, catching me live, first through third time, post a 1 below. I know a lot of people have joined the group. I'm so excited about that. It's growing crazy. And to think that this page and the group has grown so much since February. I just started the page and group in February. I've been doing this for 14 years, but just the page and group since February. It's insane, right? So, I mean, my email list, guys, I have like 8,700 people just since February. It's crazy blown up. And I'm so excited. I'm not all dressy, girl. I'm in what is it? A workout shirt thing, whatever. This is like one of those workout jackets. I am not dressed up. But thanks, Cynthia. But no, this is my little, those little jacket things, that you work out in. So, yeah. Because it's late, guys, and I have a tank top on, okay? So I just threw this on and threw it together. Yes, I'm human, okay? I don't want to dress up every time I go live. Ugh. Okay, so because this is about keeping it real, this is about IEPs, and I don't think you guys really care what I look like or what I'm dressed like, okay? Because I'm a shorts and t-shirts kind of girl, sweatpants, or really not sweatpants, but yoga pants kind of girl, okay? So if you're trying to look for an IEP advocate that's in suits, not me. All right. So with that said, guys, but I can clean up a little bit. Okay. I can clean up. Enough of the jokes. Enough of the jokes. Hey, everybody. How are you? I'm so excited to have you guys on here. We have Jan and Michelle and Tina and Dila. Welcome. Welcome. We have Jessica and Cynthia. And, okay, you got to tell me again. What is it? Yusinef? Tell me again. I know you spelled it out for me once. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Yes, share, please. And Kim, awesome, awesome. All right. So I know you guys are awesome. People have shared this. People have called me, guys, from groups that you guys must have shared with, and they're not even on my page yet or my group. It's kind of funny, but thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So real quick. Raise your hand, whatever it is. What do they have? Hands, hearts, whatever. You're funny, Cynthia. All right, whatever. All right, you got to give it to me. Are you from California? Do you know most of my clients are from California? All right. I think I just posted that I have hit 30 out of 50 states. I have represented clients in 30 out of 50 states. So I'm super excited. A lot of my clients do come from California, but I want to tell you guys there's a lot of changes coming your way, and I'm so excited about them, okay? One of them is a law that just passed, and it's in regards to all the things that happen in California, such as the wildfires and things like that, okay? And hey, Michelle, how are you? So you guys have a lot of things coming your way because they are putting things in place and requiring schools to have a system in place for all of the natural disasters, if you will, that happen in California. Okay, like for example, this is a pandemic with COVID. You know, in California, we have the fires that are going on right now, and I sure hope everybody's doing okay if you're from there. We have lots of things that are going on. There's a lot of things in California more so than other places, and then in some other places, you know, you have Oklahoma and some other things where you have tornadoes and stuff, right? Well, schools and districts are now starting to sign in law. The governors are signing the laws that are making the school districts implement a plan of action so that after 10 days, FAPE is then provided. All right. It doesn't matter if it's virtual or in person, but they are now required to keep FAPE intact. All right. They can no longer use it because of everything going on with this. Oh my gosh. If anybody knows how to like turn off the sound of if you get a text on an Apple, please message me. It's driving me crazy. Please message me. I have my text message thing on my phone. I guess it's connected somehow, and now it goes off on my computer. So, and I have an Apple. So if anybody knows how to take that off, please let me know. It's driving me crazy. All right. So I want you to know that, okay? In California, they have signed a law, and school systems are keeping hush-hush about it, okay? It's in place now, okay? It's in place now. We just got a alert on COPA, and I'm super excited about this because, boy, is it going to be crazy in California. Like, I'm almost excited to really get a hold of it. Just got your second letter from the principals. Finally responded to my emails. Good job. All right. So I'm going to answer some questions that a lot of people have had. And these are the tips of the week, guys. Okay. So tomorrow is going to be some content, Monday. And then I'll probably do Tuesday and Thursday this week. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday on the page. All right. Everything else is going to be in the group. Or maybe I'll do Monday, Wednesday, I don't know. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. It's always Monday and Thursday on the group right here, or page here. Tuesdays, I forgot, is a Q&A on the group. So that's what we do always on the group. All right. So special education, COVID, you know, some questions here. All right. First question. And you guys go ahead and answer. Okay. I'm going to give you the answer though. All right. So must all IEPs, yes, very smart Tess. Must all IEPs be amended? I have asked you guys this. Remember, this is the trivia. To reflect the changes of distance learning or virtual learning? Yes or no? I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. Let me repeat it again. Must all IEPs be amended to reflect the changes of distance or virtual learning? Go. Yes or no? Come on. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's all that's going to answer? Yes, the answer is no. Okay? IEPs do not have to change. Okay? And that's according to the United States Department of Education. All right? Next question. You guys ready? All right, make sure you guys share this. If you're hopping on, post a 1 below. If you're new, first through third time, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. All right? So, the answer is no. I can tell you straight up, Tina, it's no. All right? It's right here from the United States Department of Education, OSEP. All right? And it's March 21st, 2020. It was again talked about on June 20th and April 2020. Okay? These exception circumstances may affect how all education-related services and supports are provided. The provisions of a free appropriate public education may include, as appropriate, special education and related services provided through distance learning and instruction provided virtually, online, or telephonically. Goes on to say schools may not be able to provide all services in the same manner, which you guys know, as they are typically provided in the school system. Federal disability law allows for flexibility in determining how to meet the individual needs of students with disabilities, and it's okay for things to be different. Speech would be online versus in person. You guys know that. It's a given. All right? Then it goes on to say that the determination of how FAPE is being provided may need to be different in this time, which you guys know, all right, of unprecedented national emergency, all right? To review OSEP's March 21st, 2020 guidance titled Supplemental Fact Sheets, which I posted for you guys. And the only thing it says, guys, is there may be some instances when amending the IEP to reflect changes can be appropriate in an amendment with dates. Okay, it goes on to say LEA convene an IEP meeting or propose an amendment without a team meeting, particularly where it's deemed necessary. All right. However, parents too may request a meeting to amend things. Okay, but it's not required. And that is in accordance to the United States Department of Education, Section 20, USC, Section 1414, D4A, 20 USC 1414, D3D, and 34C.F.R. Okay? So it is not required. Okay? So your school system can say whatever it will, okay, Becca and Tina, but they're informing you incorrectly. Okay, I actually just corrected a school system in California because they wanted to say that in accordance to this, it was a California extension for evaluations, okay? And it was a California extension to evaluations in regard to English learners. So they quoted the law for me, and so I'm no dummy. I looked it up, and guess what it said? It was specific to English learners. It did not generalize. It did not say for any other child. This is an any other child, not an English learner. So therefore, what does that mean? The evaluation time frame stays as it is per idea. Okay? So don't believe everything the school system says. Don't, okay? A lot of them do not know the law, all right? Now, some of them do, I'm sure. I'm not saying all of them or people never do this. I'm saying it happens, so find out for yourself, okay? Because are you going to believe yourself and looking, or, you know, someone here on the page or somebody else, or are you going to, you know, listen to them where they're wanting you to just kind of believe it, so you leave it alone, you know? So you got to look at things like that. All right, here's the next question. Is the LEA, that's the district, okay, for those of you who don't know, all right, precluded from providing services to students with disabilities in person or in the home for the purpose of supporting, I can't wait to hear y'all's answers to this one, for the purpose of supporting the student in accessing the alternative options for learning being offered. Let me say that one more time. So I need you guys to start posting yes or no. I'll give you about 20-ish seconds, 25 seconds while I read it one more time. Is the LEA, the district, precluded from providing services to students with disabilities in person or in the home for the purpose of supporting the student in accessing the alternative options for learning being offered? Yes or no? Go. Come on. Come on. What's the answer? Come on. I'm waiting. Yes or no? Yes or no? Oh my gosh, are you guys stuck? Say, I don't know. Come on. Does the district have to provide services? Okay, what's precluded? Okay, let me rephrase. Does the district have to provide services to students with disabilities in person during a time like this? In person, meaning at home or in the school setting, even if you are virtual. That's what that means. Like, meaning they don't have to. Sorry, I read that wrong. My fault. Okay, so I looked up precluded. All right, so precluded means prevent from happening. All right, so it means make impossible. So let's just read it like that. So can the district make it impossible to provide services to students at home or in person in any place or setting just because the pandemic is happening? Okay, the answer is no. Okay. And that, my friends, is ordered by the CDE. All right. So what that means is basically, all right, the CDE acknowledges the complex and unprecedented challenges LEAs are experiencing from the threat of COVID. As such, the CDE is committed to such reasonable approach to compliance monitoring that accounts for exceptional circumstances facing states. Okay? But what it means is in some exceptional situations, all right, districts may need to provide certain supports and services to individual students in person in order to maintain students' mental, physical health, and safety for purposes of supporting the student in accessing the alternative options for learning being offered, such as distance learning. With that said, alternative service delivery options should seek to comply with federal, state, and local health office guidance. Okay, so with the goal of keeping students and teachers and everybody safe. Okay, so that's what that means. So basically, it's kind of like in many medical situations, okay, and different situations that need in person. Okay, there isn't one thing noted as to what that entails. Okay, so that creates a tool for us, if you will, to figure out the loophole there. All right, so I'm thinking on that, guys. I'm thinking on that. All right. And I'm going to get back to you on that because I know there are loopholes in regards to that in proving the student's need and necessity to have in-person education. So, but obviously it can't be given to everybody like that. And there are loopholes. So I'm actually going to call the CDE and talk to them and see what they say and what their thoughts are on basically the interpretation of that, on how to deliver that to the general public. And then I'll let you guys know. Okay. My son's IEP has APE goal listing will occur at alternate locations. That's great. Yeah, that's really great. That's awesome, actually. All right, guys, you ready for another question? All right, so the next question is 5. Okay. If the LEA offers distance learning for instructional delivery in lieu of regular classroom instruction, all right, and distance learning is virtual right now, okay, during a school site closure for students, what is the obligation to implement the IEP for students with disabilities? So I'm asking you, what is the obligation of the LEA for students with disabilities, all right, if the LEA offers distance learning instead of regular classroom? Go ahead. And then I'll respond. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Hi, Anna. Good answer. Okay. So the answer is, all right, the LEA must provide FAPE. Okay. So it has to be comparable opportunities, the verbiage from the Department of Education, not a state Department of Education, the head Department of Education. All right. It basically says the LEA must ensure that students with disabilities have equitable access to comparable opportunities appropriately tailored to the individual need of the student to ensure meaningful access as determined through the IEP process to the extent feasible. All right. And they also have to consider alternative delivery. Okay. So if something's not being delivered appropriately, it has to be delivered in another way. Okay. All right. So, next one. All right. What is considered equitable access for student with disabilities? Go. You guys are good. Look at this. I ask the question again. What is considered equitable access for students with disabilities? And make sure to share this, guys. Share, 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 and share. And you know what? Now that I just said that, tomorrow is giveaway day. Okay, today's the last day to share. All right, then I pick names from my hat tomorrow evening. And if you're joining and hopping on, post a 1 below if you're new, first through third time, 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Okay, here is your answer. When the LEA provides services to students during a school site closure, that's just not COVID, that's in general, all right? The LEA must provide equitable access to those services for students with disabilities, with services appropriately tailored to meet their individual needs to the greatest extent possible. Per IDEA. That's from IDEA. All right. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Lacey. Welcome. And Cindy is new. Welcome, welcome. All right. So let's recap. We still have more questions, but I want to recap for some of our new people hopping on. Make sure to share, and your name will go in the hat tomorrow night. All right. So share, post that you shared, and I will put your name in the hat tomorrow night. Got a lot of names to put in, by the way. All right. So the first question was, must all individualized education programs, IEPs, be amended to reflect the change for virtual learning? The answer was no. Okay. Is a LEA, the school district, precluded, which means make impossible, from providing services to a student with disabilities in person or in the home for the purpose of supporting the student in accessing the alternative options for learning being offered? The answer is no, okay? So the school system cannot make it impossible for students with disabilities to receive education outside of virtual learning, and must make it accessible, as long as it's safe, in the home or at another place if it can't be done in the school. Okay? Thank you, Lacey. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sneff. You gotta tell me how you say it again. And Cindy. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for sharing. I will put you guys in the hat for tomorrow. So if you share, you will go in the hat. All right. So awesome. Thank you, Cindy. All right. So the next question, in recapping, all right, was when, no, are we on that one? No, we're on this one. All right. If the LEA, which is the school district, offers distance learning for instructional delivery in lieu of the regular classroom during a school site closure for students, doesn't have to be COVID, all right, what is the obligation to implement the IEP for students with disabilities? The answer to that was they have to provide FAPE, all right? They have to do everything to the maximum extent possible as is, period, all right? Next question. What is considered equitable access? This is still recapping for students with disabilities, all right? What that means is the LEAs are providing instruction through distance learning model to replace what would have been provided in the classroom. LEAs must create access to the instruction for students with disabilities, including planning an appropriate modification and accommodation based on individual needs. So the appropriate accommodations and modifications must be put in place, all right? Even if virtual, all right? People are asking me all the time, well, how is speech going to, it's going to be virtual, guys, all right? Unless you can, we can come up with another reason why we would try to get them into your home, or we would try to get them to allow you to come into the school and they go into the school, you know, obviously not with all the kids, okay? And there's situations, as we just answered in the question, and this is from the Department of Education, the headquarters, not by state, all right? So that means they trump your state. They're the ones who control it, all right? And they're the ones who create and tell your states this is how it's going to be, all right? So just so you know, OSEP is who is the big dogs, all right? And they control all states, all right? And then you got IDEA, which is federal, all right? Okay, so moving on. If distance learning is provided in some capacity, all right, but does not mirror the offer of FAPE in the IEP, will compensatory services be required once an LEA, which is the district, resumes in regular school session? Go. Yes or no? Or, okay, yes, no, or individually based. I sort of just gave you the answer, but yeah. Yes, no, or individually based. Any more answers coming in? All right, it's individually based, but let me give you the loophole. All right, it's definitely not no. So it's always going to be individually based. Okay, so when it comes to compensatory services, it is my opinion, and I'm typically right with this stuff, guys, that it's not going to be hard to get compensatory services if you know how to say it. All right. And you might not like me saying this. And if you're a parent, they knows their stuff, or that they haven't run over in the past. I know that sounds bad. Let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is if you're a parent, and this is not your fault, that is new to all this, and they know that, more than likely, if you go asking for compensatory services, you're going to get that big fat no. All right? However, it's not just how you word it, it's how you go about it. All right? Let me tell you a little story. It's a short story, okay? And then we're going to finish the questions. So this weekend I was talking to somebody, and we were, I was letting them know what I do, and we were doing a discovery call, and it was interesting because she said, I listen to a lot of advocates, and I always keep coming back to you. I said, oh, that's nice. And she said, the reason I keep coming back to you is because you're the one who goes after things and doesn't care about being friends. So I sat on that for just a split second, and I came out and I said, and this is fact, you're right. I'm not about being friends. I'll never be about being friends. We're not friends, okay? It's a business transaction, okay? You're going to a meeting as the CEO. You're creating and implementing and being the head honcho in a business transaction, okay? Because business transactions and other things, of course, are what goes to court. And this IEP goes to the Supreme Court, the top of the top of the top. All right? This is about a child, but it is a business transaction as far as the paper goes. Okay? In the discussion with the team. All right? Because we're not friends. Okay? That doesn't mean you're not polite. That doesn't mean you're rude. But there are times where you're going to be, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to be aggravated and pissed off and feeling alone and all those other emotions that you go through. And that is human. All right. Now they'll ridicule you for it. All right. How dare you, come at my staff like that and blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, how dare you play the games with us? That goes both ways. So what I'm saying to you is, it was nice of her to say that. I took that as a compliment, because it's not that I'm trying to be enemies. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. What I'm in there to do is not to be friends. I'm in there to advocate for a child and for that child to get what they need. At the end of the day, when I leave, that's it. We're not friends. I'm not calling you on the phone asking you to go to the movies. Not happening. And in life, guys, everything is based off creating relationships. That's what life is all about. We all need people, believe it or not. Anybody that says, and they get mad and they say, I don't need you, they're just mad. People need people, okay? That is human nature, all right? Now, we don't need all people. We don't get along with all people, but people need people, all right? That's just who we are, whether that be, your husband who you connect to. That doesn't mean you have a ton of friends. I actually am very tight knit. I have a group of people that are my people, and I am not, I guess, overzealous in saying, here's my life's work, but I'm very upfront and to the point, and those who know me know all my stuff, and I like that. I like having that. I'd rather have, my 10, 15 friends and then acquaintances versus 50 friends. You know what I mean? All right. So I thought that was really cool, because you need to know that. is it's not about being friends, guys. It's not. All right. You can be friends, and you'll be friends for a period of time, if you want to call it that. All right. Until you're run the heck over because it slams down on you and something didn't work out. And you feel like you were just hit with a Mack truck because you thought you were friends and you thought you got along with all of the people and everything was growing great. And then all of a sudden that Mack truck hit you and you were devastated at the fact that they would betray you in any way, shape, or form. All right? So you're not friends. You are not friends. All right? If you were friends, your IEP would be pitch perfect. All right? We wouldn't all, including myself, have gone through the things we've gone through if things were amazing. Okay? So we have to always, it's one of those things where we will always have to be on that teeter-totter of, I want a respectable relationship, but we're not friends. Okay? You have my child and I have to put some sort of trust, but we're not friends. Okay? There's a relationship that you'll have with the teacher or teachers, that's different. Okay? But with the district and the IEP team of certain individuals, you are not friends. All right? You have to have that communication with the teacher. You have to have that dialogue. You have to, hopefully, you have a teacher that is awesome and is open and that sort of thing. But one of the things you have to know is there's a hiccup there. All right? The teacher can only do so much. Okay? Then it's left to the administration. All right? All right. Thank you, Anna. What if you don't agree with the school when they tell you they're doing the best they can? You call them out, girlfriend. All right, Ashley? You call them out and don't be afraid to do it. All right? The first thing I would say is I would repeat that sentence back to them. I would say, really? You're doing the best you can? If you're doing the best you can, then you would be providing speech. You would be providing speech at 3 times a week instead of 1 time a week for my nonverbal child. If you were doing the best you can, you would be doing X, Y, Z. I would go back at them with their own comment. I do that a lot, by the way, and it really works. So I hate when they say fullest extent possible. I don't think they're trying hard enough. They're using that as, of course, say that. Say that. And that's what I mean by what that lady said to me on the phone today, or it was yesterday, actually. And I thought that was awesome, how she comes back to me because I'm the advocate that's not all about being friends, because of stuff like that. If you're doing the best you can for my child, which number one, you actually don't have to do the best you can. You only have to do what's needed and appropriate. And I'm totally fine with that. But guess what? If you were doing the best you can, I wouldn't be here saying that you have an issue here, that I don't agree. If you were doing the best you can. Because if you're doing the best you can, you would be providing for each and every bit of his needs, his individual needs, his unique needs. And it wouldn't be about the best you can. It would be serving him where it's needed. Period. That's what I would say to them. Don't ever accept stuff like that. You go back at them, okay? You go back at them. Okay. If the school is providing in-person education program in Maryland, an MD kid, what's an MD kid? Multiple disabilities? Don't they have to provide it for all kids? Can you explain that a little bit? I don't want to answer that till I fully understand it. Let me finish questions. While you're coming back at me, I'm going to finish questions, okay? Okay, give me a second, Cindy. All right. I don't like that question. All right, hold up. Okay. I'm picking and choosing questions, y'all. Okay. What is the impact of school site closures on special education monitoring, timelines, and processes? Go. What is the impact of school site closures on special education monitoring, timelines, and processes? That sounds weird, but you guys have heard me say this so many times. So while you guys are answering that, I'm going to answer Cindy real quick. The multiple disabilities kids are getting one-on-one tutoring even though we are virtual. Shouldn't they provide that opportunity to all kids? Okay, so a lot of school systems are doing that, and they're distinguishing what students need things more, which I would ask. I would say, hey, what are the provisions for children to be able to get in school one-on-one help versus virtual? Like what is it that children with multiple disabilities are able to get XYZ versus a student with autism or whatever, you know? Ask them how they're distinguishing it. What is it that they're going by? Are they going like by a checklist? What are they going by? Because an IEP is an IEP is an IEP. That's my thought on it. All right. There's no one IEP better, worse, whatever than the other in regards to the importance. Because the importance is that they have an IEP for the reason that they have the IEP, and it's all important. So, you know, sure, you could say that, you know, they kind of do that with like Medicaid type stuff too, which is why I have no interest in that shit at all. But they do stuff like that. Like, you know, if your child is in a wheelchair versus a child with autism or, you know, that has multiple issues, you know, you can get mad at me, guys, but I don't think that we have the right as people to say, oh, your disability is worse than his and his disability is easier. I don't feel bad for you. And your disability is so-so, but her disability is horrible. I just think that's stupid. You know, I mean, they all have disabilities. They all have their issues, you know, and a lot of, you know, like my daughter, she doesn't look like she has a disability, but she has a lot of things, you know, like other people. They have children that you may not guess that they have a disability, but they do. And that's just the case, you know? So no one child, I believe, deserves more than another. They all deserve equality, just like we all do, you know? So we all are U.S. citizens and we all should, you know, be treated the same, with the same respect and dignity, you know? Don't even get me started with that stuff. You do not even want to get me started with that stuff. I would go on and on and on with all the horribleness that's going on today. So anyway, you ready for the answer? All right. The answer is, now I lost my, okay, here it is. I'm going to read the whole sentence to you. At the time, the federal government has not waived, this is why the question was weird, because you guys have heard this. At this time, the federal government has not waived the federal requirements under IDEA. The CDE and SBE are working with the United States Department of Education to determine what flexibilities or waivers may be issued in light of extraordinary circumstances. Until and unless the United States Department of Education ultimately provides flexibilities under the law, LEAs should do their best in adhering to IDEA requirements, including federally mandated timelines, to the maximum extent possible. LEAs are encouraged to consider ways to use distance technology to meet those obligations. However, the CDE acknowledges the complex, unprecedented challenges LEAs are experiencing from the threat of COVID. As such, the CDE is committed to reasonable approach to compliance monitoring that accounts for exceptional circumstances facing the state. All right, but I can tell you straight up, y'all, OCR says otherwise. Okay, so if services are not being provided, accommodations are not being adhered to, all right, I don't care if they gotta mail you the iPad. That's what they gotta do. All right, they gotta mail you a calculator. That's what they gotta do. That is their job. Okay, if your child has a one-on-one, they better be online. They sure as hell better. And you can fight for that one-on-one to come into your home. You have to fight the state. It has to be one of those things where school systems made a decision, okay, to not open schools. But that doesn't mean that your state, so for example, if your state's daycare centers are open, then it's full reign. They can definitely send that one-on-one to your home. And I would fight for that with everything I had. So if there's no school in session and your child is learning virtually and they have a one-on-one, and in your state, forget about the school part, in your state, it is safe to go into somebody's home, okay? Some states are different than others right now, so I can't speak to your state. But for example, in the state of Virginia, we're in what? I think we're getting ready to go to phase 3. So that means it's kind of going into the norm. So like phase 2, everything's pretty much open. The only thing that drives me batshit crazy is wearing those masks. I wear them, but I hate it. I'm like super claustrophobic. It's making me crazy. I'm so over COVID, you don't even know. Okay? Like over it. Hate it. Done. And it ruined my Disney vacation. I'm not happy with COVID. So, and you guys got to join the group too, because I'm going to be doing a huge summit where we're going to get together. I'm going to get a, reserve a hotel, and I am going to let them know what's going to be happening there in reference to children with special needs. So the amount is completely discounted. So jump over to the group at Autism on Rocks IEP group. Announcements are going to be made soon where we can all come together. I have so many clients I want to meet, and I'm so excited to be offering this. I will be putting up a link where it's completely going to be discounted because of the mass amount of people I hope to have there. And, you know, I'm hoping that we get together as parents, but then we bring our spouses or older kids or somebody to kind of care for the kiddos while we get together as adults. And I'll do some trainings, and it'll be a super awesome time. It's kind of like going to be a retreat, if you will. So stay tuned. All right, let's move on. So basically, they have to provide everything necessary for your child, even if virtually. If they have a one-on-one in their IEP, it doesn't say if a child has a one-on-one in their IEP in the law right now, okay, in anything. If the child has a one-on-one in their IEP, we're not able to provide that. It doesn't say that. There's nowhere that it says that. Nowhere. Okay? Yes, I'm going to have a retreat next year. Sure am. 2021, baby. Excited. Woo, woo, right? All right, so next question. What is the impact of school closures on state complaints and due process hearings under IDEA? My clients better know this. You guys should know this. What is the impact of that? What is the impact of online complaints, state complaints, or due process, mediation, etc.? Let me give you a tip. Don't do mediation. File due process. File a due process request and file mediation with it. 80% of cases will settle. I can promise you this. I do it in mediation. Just make sure you got a good mediator, all right? An attorney, an advocate, but make sure that advocate knows their stuff, knows how to negotiate, knows how to fight, and knows their wording. right? I'm going to be sharing with you, Anna, there is a new law that California has been hiding in regards to everything. And I'm going to share it with you and some others in California. And it's going to change everything drastically in a major way. So, all right. So what is the impact on due process and state complaints? 0. I've filed lots of them. Lots of them. All right. So, and I have 3 that I'm getting together now. They take me so long because I am OCD, guys. Seriously. And when I write a state complaint or even an email, Anna can attest to this, I'm very picky. And my emails, my first emails that I send for clients to kind of get the district to realize, oh shit, someone else is on board. It's a long email, and I got law and statutes. I got that state's law. I got IDEA all mixed up in it. And so when I write a state complaint, like right now, today, nope, didn't spend time with my family. All day since 10 a.m., I have been writing. I'm not done. I have been writing a client in California's recap to the IEP meeting. Oh, yeah. And CCing the superintendent and director of special education, because from the get-go, from the minute we turned Zoom on, there were 2 procedural violations off the bat. You want to know what they are? The first one was they invited people to that IEP meeting that were not on the meeting invitation, and the parents were not notified. All right? That's not allowed. They have to tell the parent. The next one, you ready for this? How can a parent come back and be a CEO of an IEP after the school district has bullied the IEP for a year? Oh, easy. Most of them bring me on board, then it changes the dynamic, and then they take over. And then what happens is once you do it on your own after that, Yusnef, is it Yusnef? Oh, I don't want to say your name wrong. Once you go back and do it on your own after I've stepped in, they realize, oh, she taught her what's up. And so they take you seriously from then on out. Plus, I've even had parents tell me, Raven, they do not mess with me anymore because they do not want you coming to the table. They hate me coming to the table because I will argue with them guys forever. Yes, you saw my legs. See, I got shorts on. I got my little workout shirt on. Yes, that's how I come to the table with you guys. But yeah, I mean, hold on. I'll tell you the other one, the other violation. Hold up a second. And then I got to charge my computer, so hang on. But I want to tell y'all. Okay. So, and obviously I'm not telling you the names or anything. Okay, so the first one is, this is what I said. I am recapping the meeting, IEP meeting, on 8/27/20. I'm just going to read a little bit to you of this recap, okay? I will be addressing the meeting itself, the items needing further discussion, and issues. When we met on September 3rd, 2020, I want to make it clear that the items tabled will be discussed and decided on. These items are below and under request but needed discussed. I proposed 2 hours to be safe, and everyone ignored me. Miss blah, 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 of course, is rushing it due to her schedule, and this will not be the case or accepted. 2 members were in attendance in this IEP meeting on 8/27/20 without the parents' knowledge or consent. Procedural violation number 1. They invited themselves and or were invited by other members of the school district. a violation of IDEA in section 300.321 and section 300.322, parent participation. Miss Blank was one of the two members that was in the IEP meeting and ran the meeting with Miss Blank, and Miss Blank ran the meeting more, the lady that was not invited to the IEP. Oh yeah, it gets better. This was done without the parents' knowledge or consent before the IEP meeting, and it was never stated what her purpose at that meeting was, yet she ran the meeting and was the one who rushed the meeting, made many comments about time and getting through things when topics of importance to the parents and questions of importance to the parents were being discussed. In one instance, she stated, and I put it in parentheses, I cannot answer that, but we need to move forward with this meeting. Oh, yeah. There was a complete refusal to address the inconsistencies of the evaluations completed. The psychologist, who 100% should have been at the meeting because it was an evaluation, and was for a period of time, but then they left early because she had another meeting. On top of the fact that she did not provide any help for information to any part of the psychoeducational evaluation because she did not conduct it. So the psychologist was there, supposedly representing evaluations that she did not even do. Seriously? Here we go. Here's the next violation coming up. The psychoeducational evaluation to explain. So basically, the psychoeducational, she couldn't explain it. All right. She couldn't explain it to the parents in any way and in a way they could understand. So the psychologist was there, the one that did not do the psychoeducational. She could not answer any of my questions. All right. And then she left early. All right. Here's the next thing. This is where the next procedural violation happened. This is a failure. All right. Hear this violation. It's a failure to make recommendations with sufficient clarity and finality. Let me say that again. Failure to make recommendations with sufficient clarity and finality. It's a procedural violation. They were not able to make recommendations with sufficient clarity and finality because they didn't have any answers to the psychoeducational evaluation in which we were at the meeting to review. Procedural violation number 2. All services delineated in an IEP should be set forth and act in a fashion that is specific enough for parents to have clear understanding of the level of commitment of services on part of the school system. This removes the parent's ability to meaningfully participate in the educational decision-making progress. Procedural violation number 3 happened within the first 10 minutes. Bam. There you go. That's what happened. So I'm writing this great big huge letter recapping this damn meeting, and it's taken me all day because I'm technical. I drive myself crazy because it's got to be good. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be, I got to hit it right, you know, and I don't know, like, I got to get my charger. Hang on. Like, I'm just so picky, guys. Like, it's, and I'll tell you though, my emails and stuff are awesome, but they're not, what's the word? They're not short and sweet. All right. So they're very technical. They're very thorough, and I'm very much to the point. But it does take me a while because I'm very OCD about it. And I'm one that, you know, I'll write it and then I'll edit it, and you can't just write an email, or I can't just write an email, or I can't recap something. I'm listening to the recording over and over and over, and then finding things and recapping it and quoting it, and then I'm looking at the client's IEP and psychoeducational and speech evaluation and OT evaluation, and I'm lining it up and posting things, and I'm looking up IDEA and state statutes, and you know, so there's so much for me that goes into an email or a letter, or you know, a request for due process. I mean, it's crazy. Like some requests for due process are up to 30 pages because they're so thorough. But you know, that's just me. but I make sure they create an impact and let them know I'm not playing and I understand the law probably better than they do. Where do we get a copy of that? I so need that. I mean, get a copy of what? That was something I wrote. Get a copy of what? I wrote it. It's a letter I'm writing to a school system in reference to a client. What you want a copy of? Thanks, Anna. Haha, even I know your name now after 3 or 4 lives. Are you talking about my post? Yeah. I'm not giving out this client's email or message that I'm sending. I can't do that. I mean, I can, you know, post the law part, you know, but so yeah. Okay, so let's do one more question. How about that? Okay, make sure you guys share. Hey, Linda. Yes, I am. But I was just telling everybody I've worked in 30 of 50 states so far, and it is my goal by the end of 2021 to have worked with school districts in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii, which I've already done Hawaii, but Alaska. I want to do Alaska. Anybody live in Alaska? So I'm actually, because I do so many from California, I'm thinking about flying out there and doing a weekend training. So I used to live in Rhode Island. I was, my husband was stationed in Newport at the base there. So I have worked in I've worked in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, yes. Of course, Virginia. Oklahoma. You got to go listen to the other video. I named them all. Oklahoma, Texas. All right, let me try to start East Coast. All right, hold on. Okay, let me start up East Coast. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Hold on, don't distract me. I'm trying to think, all right? I got to learn my states. Hang on. Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Michigan, Illinois. Shit, I don't know all those states right now. Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee. I'm doing a due process right now in Tennessee. I said Michigan, right? Missouri, Minnesota, Missouri, I think it is. Minnesota. One of those M's, Minnesota or Missouri, one or the other. One I did, one I didn't do. I just don't remember. It was a long time ago. What else? Washington State, California, Hawaii, Wyoming. I've done a lot, guys. I've done a lot. Yeah. That's awesome, Amy. So, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, New Jersey. Ha! That's right. Oh, and there's another one. Oregon. Yeah, I've done Iowa, not Nebraska. I've done Iowa, not Nebraska. You know what? Honestly, because, and I think I told this story, and I got to get off here because I got to finish this damn letter. My concern, is it possible to do virtual learning and follow an IEP BIP? My daughter's IEP BIP. No, FAPE's not going to be provided. Sorry, not happening. Sorry. But we're going to do the best we can. All right. You'll have to PM me if you want to chat about it. But yeah, no. It's all you in reference to the BIP stuff. And yeah. I mean, obviously, if there's no one in your home, they can't uphold a BIP, you know? That's kind of a given. But you deserve it. So don't think just because it's not being provided that your child doesn't deserve it. They do, and it's part of the IEP. So FAPE's not being provided. So yeah, I'm getting to the point, guys, where I'm going to be looking to hire. But my problem is it's very hard to teach someone to do what I do. I'm going to start probably in this coming year. I'm going to need help big time. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to start interviewing people who want to be advocates and can put in the time. And I will take my time to train them, but it is hard work as far as having to train people. So it's difficult, but I'm wanting to possibly have in the next 3 to 4 years, my goal is to have an advocate that works in my business in every state. So that's my goal. So that is my goal. So, but what I'll do is I'll hire and then I'll do kind of like a boot camp type training and go from there. But what's hard is, hiring people and then, when I have not yet gone to an IEP where I've not gotten it done for somebody. Now, does that mean we don't go back to the table? Yep, we sure do. Because when you have an IEP, you go over everything, then the IEP is drawn up, and then sometimes there's issues, and you have to tweak that up, and sometimes you can do where they just handle it, or sometimes you have to go back to the table. A lot of my clients, when we have the IEP, we have to go back to the table anyway for that reevaluation meeting. And then we get present levels and goals updated there at that second meeting. And then usually at the second meeting, everything's ready to go. So usually the first meeting is getting the whole IEP together as is. And then the second meeting is typically for my clients, we go over the evaluation and we go over updating present levels and goals, and then everything's good to go. Then after that, it's keeping on top of your progress reports and the data, and then it is making sure that you have your IEPs 3 to 4 times a year and you are on it as far as progress. So yeah, I actually had a lady today, Anna, I was going to message you because that iTranslate sucks. And I could not figure it out to save my freaking life. Look, let me show you. I'm looking. Okay, here it is, Anna. Look, this is me using that damn whatever. What's it called? iTranslate. That thing's hard. So yeah, I need someone that can work with my Latina community, and I have a huge Latina community, huge, 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 and huge. So yeah, I need hope there. So yes, so keep your eyes and ears out, and if it's something you're open to, um, I will be doing some training come next year, and but you got to be a go-getter. You got to get it done. All right. Um, that's going to be of utmost importance to me, is getting it done. All right. And like I said, sometimes, most of it gets done in the first meeting, like this one that I'm recapping. We're going to another meeting this coming week. We had one Thursday. We're having one more on the 3rd. And that's to kind of sum up the IEP so that we get it together, which is fine. Okay. Totally fine. Sometimes you don't get it all done in the first one, but you're on the same page and it's coming together. And then you get that second meeting and it comes together. Works perfectly. But yeah, that's important. All right. So let's do one more question and then I'm going to hop off here, guys. Okay. So, what is the impact on services to students with disabilities served by Part C of IDEA? Anybody? Part C of IDEA is like federal mandates, timelines, all that crap. All right, so here's your answer. LEAs are encouraged to consider ways to use distance learning to meet these obligations. So that's federal mandates, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. However, the CDE acknowledges the complex, unprecedented challenges LEAs are experiencing from threat of COVID. As such, the CDE is committed to reasonable approach to compliance monitoring and accounts for its exceptional circumstances facing the states. The CDE appreciates the difficult decisions the LEAs and families are faced with as a grapple with the unprecedented crisis. The CDE has informed a work group of special education practitioners and other experts to help brainstorm best practices that we plan to share in the coming weeks. In addition, resources of addressing the needs of students with disabilities are provided in this guidance and in the CDE's guidance on distance learning and then it gives the website, which is www.cde.gov. And you can put California or whatever state. Okay. We will update the guidance as necessary in response to any guidance from the U.S. Department of Education. All right. So this one is specific to California, but they're the same. All right. So yeah, we covered quite a few. I still have more questions, and tomorrow we're going to address some other things. We're going to address reevaluation some more. We talked about that the other day when I spoke for, I think it was on the group, guys. You'll have to go over there to listen. It was almost 2 hours. I talked 2 hours, and we were talking about how it's now 4. Actually, I think I did it on Thursday. That's what happened. Is on Thursday, I went live on the group instead of here, and I spoke for 2 hours in regards to reevaluations and how for the last 3-4 IEPs, that has been the biggest fight. Not the reevaluations themselves, but the fact that I'm requesting certain evaluations for the students based off their individual needs. And the schools are getting really pissed off that I'm asking for specific assessments and evaluations. And then asking for the specificity of them, the names of them, to go into the consent to the parent and for them to sign. So that's my fight. So that's what's been happening. All right. All right, guys, I think that's it for tonight. It was good talk. We had a great time. Make sure you share this and your name will go into the hat tomorrow night for the giveaways. All right. Share, 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 post, share, and your name will be tallied tomorrow afternoon, and you will go into the hat for the gifts. And I pull 3 names. All right. Oh, it's on the group. I labeled a ton, and I'll talk about some more tomorrow. I'll recap them all. Okay, so make sure that you join the group. Go to search Autism Mama Rocks IEP group and join the group. I put a lot of stuff over there. Okay, yeah, it was long. It was like 2 hours, I want to say. Well, this one's been an hour and 15 minutes, so I got to get off. All right, guys, make sure to share so your name goes in the hat. I will see you tomorrow. And then Tuesday, I am over on the group, okay? So I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.